From the raw hunger of their early years to the polished global dominance they command today, BTS's musical journey feels less like a simple discography and more like a coming-of-age epic told through sound. When fans talk about Blood, Butter and Boy in Love, they aren't just naming songs, they're summing up eras, emotions, and transformations that define why BTS stands apart in pop history. If there is one song that can be called the greatest of all time in BTS's catalog, it has to be understood not as a standalone hit, but as the emotional center of everything they've ever been. BTS's music has always been about growth, and their best song is the one that captures that evolution while still feeling deeply personal, honest, and timeless. In their early days, BTS burst onto the scene with an aggressive sincerity that felt almost rebellious. Songs like Boy in Love were loud, rough around the edges, and fueled by youthful obsession. There was swagger, yes, but also insecurity. You could hear young men trying to prove themselves to the world, desperate to be seen, loved, and taken seriously. The heavy beats, shouted hooks, and sharp choreography reflected a group that had everything to prove. What made those early tracks special was not technical perfection, but raw intent. BTS sounded hungry, and that hunger resonated with listeners who felt unseen in their own lives. As the years passed, that hunger didn't disappear, it matured. The sound grew more refined, the lyrics more introspective. Albums like Wings marked a turning point, and Blood, Sweat and Tears became a symbol of BTS stepping into a darker, more complex artistic identity. This wasn't just a song, it was a statement. Desire, temptation, ambition, and sacrifice were woven together with haunting production and poetic imagery. It showed that BTS was no longer just telling stories of teenage frustration, but grappling with adulthood, morality, and the cost of chasing dreams. Many fans consider this era the moment BTS truly crossed into artistry on a global level. Then came a phase where BTS began looking inward even more boldly. Songs like Spring Day stripped away excess and focused on longing, loss, and hope. It proved that BTS didn't need explosive hooks to make an impact. Sometimes, a quiet ache could speak louder than any drop. Spring Day became a cultural phenomenon not because it was flashy, but because it felt eternal. No matter how many years pass, its message of missing someone yet believing in reunion never grows old. This emotional honesty laid the groundwork for BTS to connect with millions who found comfort in their words during their hardest moments. As BTS expanded globally, they also learned how to play with joy, confidence, and celebration. Butter represents that era perfectly. Smooth, playful, and unapologetically fun, it showed a group fully aware of their star power and completely comfortable using it. There's a confidence in Butter that feels earned rather than forced. It doesn't shout to be taken seriously, it smiles and lets its charm do the work. What makes it special is not just its chart success, but how naturally BTS slipped into this brighter, pop-forward sound without losing their identity. Yet when deciding the single greatest BTS song of all time, the answer lies in a track that balances all these elements at once: ambition, vulnerability, growth, and connection. That song is Blood, Sweat and Tears. It stands at the crossroads of BTS's journey, bridging the raw passion of their youth with the refined confidence of their future. Musically, it is rich and layered, blending Moonbottom rhythms with atmospheric melodies that still feel fresh years later. Lyrically, it captures the fear and thrill of giving everything to a dream, even when you know it may consume you. What truly elevates Blood, Sweat and Tears above the rest is how it represents BTS as artists rather than idols chasing trends. The song dares listeners to confront desire and ambition honestly. It doesn't present success as clean or easy, it shows it as something intoxicating and dangerous. That honesty is why the song continues to resonate long after its release. It feels like a confession wrapped in a pop masterpiece. Performance also plays a huge role in its legacy. The choreography is sensual yet controlled, symbolic rather than purely aesthetic. Every movement feels intentional, adding another layer of storytelling to the song. On stage, Blood, Sweat and Tears transforms into an experience, one that captures the intensity of BTS's bond with both their art and their audience. Few songs in their catalog manage to blend music, visuals, and narrative so seamlessly. Still, BTS's greatness comes from the fact that their best song can mean something different to every fan. For some, it's the comfort of Spring Day. For others, it's the adrenaline of Mic Drop, or the warmth of Butter. But when looking at impact, artistry, and timelessness together, Blood, Sweat and Tears stands as the defining moment when BTS proved they were not just surviving the industry, but reshaping it. In the end, ranking BTS's greatest song is less about numbers and more about meaning. BTS has never been a group defined by a single hit. They are defined by evolution, honesty, and a rare ability to turn personal struggles into universal anthems. Blood, Butter and Boy in Love isn't just a clever phrase, it's a summary of a journey from passion to mastery. And at the heart of that journey lies a song that captures everything BTS is and everything they've become, making it worthy of being called their greatest song of all time. Purple Heart Fire.